Bueno, vamos a continuar. Como les comenté en una de las clases anteriores, para ustedes practicar el speaking, lo que pueden hacer es narrar lo que hacen y yo lo llamo tutoriales. Así que aquí están los ejemplos de tutoriales para que ustedes vean cómo se pronuncian cada una de las cosas y qué pueden decir en cada una de las cosas. Okay? So the following are some examples of tutorials you have to start doing on a daily basis. That way you will improve your speaking very quick. For instructions on how to do those tutorials and how to pronounce the words, check the videos in the course. There you will find a step by step on how to practice it daily. ¿Ok? Entonces, ahí lo que dice es que te voy a enseñar cuáles son los tutoriales y cómo pronunciarlos. Te voy a leer wash the dishes y tienes que aprendértelo y tienes que tener exactamente la pronunciación o lo más cerca a lo que yo estoy diciendo. ¿Listo? Entonces, wash the dishes, lavar los platos. Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you how to wash the dishes. So, you're going to need dish soap, a sponge, dirty dishes, and water. Now, I like to do this process in a specific order, but you can do it in any order you prefer, or no order at all if that's okay with you. So, the first thing I do is to wash the cups and mugs. Take some soap with the sponge and make sure you go deep to clean them and to take off any rest of food there might be. Once they are full of bubbles, you can go ahead and wash with enough water. You want to make sure there are no bits or rests of soap in it. So, I do the same process with the rest, but in the following order. As we need to make some space to wash the big things, we continue with the spoons, knives, and forks. Clean them with the sponge and wash them with the water. The next thing will be the plates and any bowls. Make sure you take away any remains of food there with the sponge, and then you can clean that out with the water. The last thing we will want to wash are the pots and the pans. Sometimes the food is so stick to the metal that you have to put some hot water on it. Be careful not to burn your hands when washing with hot water, and do the same process with the sponge and make sure you wash away any bits and remains of food. ¿Listo? Eso es el lavar los platos. Ahora, cuando lo decimos un poco más rápido, quiero que lo digas de esa manera, pero ahí tienes cada una de las palabras. Más rápido sería, so the next thing will be the plates and any bowls. Make sure you take away any remains of food there with the sponge, and then you can clean that out with the water, ¿verdad? Lo vas a decir un poco más rápido, pero ahí te lo digo poco a poco para que tú sepas cuál es cada una de las palabras que estamos diciendo. ¿Listo? Ahora, brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. Date cuenta que no estoy diciendo teeth, sino teeth. ¿Listo? Tooth es un diente, teeth es varios dientes. ¿Listo? Entonces vamos a ver cómo nos lavamos los dientes. Hi guys. Guys significa chicos, ¿vale? Hi guys. Today I'm going to show you how to brush your teeth. So, the things that you will need are your toothbrush, toothpaste, and some water. It can be on a cup or straight from the tap. So, you're gonna take your toothpaste and apply a little bit to your toothbrush. Now, some people like to get it wet. I don't, but if you do, just put it in the water for like 1 second. I have my own order to brush my teeth, but you can do it in any order you prefer. The only thing that must not change is the method, which is for the upper teeth, you're gonna brush them downwards, and the lower teeth, you're gonna brush them upwards. Now, your grinders. If you're going to brush the sides, use the same logic you used with your teeth. But if you're going to brush the top, you have to do it in circles. And the last thing I do is my tongue. It's very important you don't miss the tongue because you want a fresh breath and the tongue keeps too much bacteria. So brush it outwards. Now, wash it with water and repeat the same process one last time. And that's it. You have clean teeth and fresh breath. ¿Listo? Perfecto, eso es lavarte los dientes. Ahora, wash clothes, esto es lavar la ropa. Vamos a ver. Hi guys, today I'm gonna teach you how to wash your clothes. Now, we are going to need four things: dirty clothes, soap, a washing machine, and water. So the first thing you have to do before washing your clothes is to separate the clothing in white clothing and dark clothing. Do not mix them because you can ruin the white clothing. Once the clothing is separated, choose if you're going to wash the white clothes or the dark clothes, and check all the clothing to see if there are extra difficult spots that you should wash before putting them into the washing machine. Once you've made sure all the clothes are ready and can be cleaned by the washing machine, you're going to throw them on the washing machine, but organize it. Make sure you don't stuff too much clothing because that can damage your machine and can stop the clothing from moving, which will not let the clothing clean against each other. Te voy a decir eso de nuevo un poco más lento. But organize it. Make sure you don't stuff too much clothing because that can damage your machine and can stop the clothing from moving, which will not let the clothing clean against each other. After all that, there should be a separated space where you can place the soap. Don't put too much soap because it can cause white spots on your clothing, which once dry won't come off too easily. And also make sure you don't put too little soap so that the clothing takes a good smell and also gets cleaned by it. Then choose the exact amount of water needed to the amount of clothing you're about to wash. Select the amount of rinses you want and the time you want the washing machine to wash the clothing. Rinse the clothing and centrifuge. After that, just close the washing machine and hit start on your control panel. The process should follow its own. ¿Listo? Ahora, take the bus. ¿Qué significa take the bus? Tomar el bus. ¿Cuál es el proceso que seguimos para tomar el bus? Lo voy a leer. ¿Listo? Hi guys. So today I'm going to teach you how to take the bus. Now, the first thing you will need is a map of the bus stops. Sometimes there are apps that show you the map of the buses, or sometimes they show up on the internet. So you can look it up. Make sure you know what's the closest stop from where you're taking the bus and where's the closest stop from where you're trying to go. And where's the closest stop from where you're trying to go. Once you know that, you can look Once you know that, you can look up the denomination of the bus that stops at your nearest bus stop and goes to the stop you're trying to go to. Also, make sure you know what's the way of paying the ticket. Sometimes buses take cash, sometimes you can change your ID, you can charge your ID. Otra vez, sometimes you can charge your ID. Sometimes you can charge your ID and they will scan it. Sometimes in the stop you can pay for it. Or sometimes there are special cards that you can buy at certain stops, charge them, and use them to pay the bus. So once you know your route, you can and how to pay, just get ready, take your ID just in case you need it, take the money you'll need, and go to the nearest stop and wait for the bus of the denomination that will take you where you want to go. Continuemos. Ahora, make your bed. Es tender la cama. ¿Listo? Hi guys. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your bed. So the only thing we will need is a bed where we slept or where someone else slept. And we are going to start with the process. So what I like to do is take off the pillow first and place them somewhere handy. Then I start taking blanket by blanket in the exact order they are. So when I put those blankets in a different place, the last blanket I'm going to extend on the bed is going to be below the other ones that go first, right? So at this point, we should only be left with the bed sheets, which we are going to make sure they are clean. You can take them off and shake them in the air or just hit the dust out of them with your hand. After that, you can extend the bed sheets and one by one in the order that you place the blankets on the other side. You're going to extend them over the bed sheets. Make sure they look straight and they are not hanging to the floor so that they don't get dirty. And the last thing will be to put the pillows on the bed and you have your bed fresh and ready. Ahora, take a shower, tomar una ducha. Hi guys. So today I'm going to show you how to take a shower. So the things that we will need are a shower, water, soap, shampoo, and a towel. Before you get into the shower, make sure you have your underwear with you in the bathroom so that when you get out of the shower, you don't go around the house naked. Once you have all your things ready, you're going to take off your clothes if you want all of them, or you can keep the underwear to wash them in the shower. Once you get into the shower, you'll start opening the hot and the cold taps to make sure you are regulating the temperature of the water as you prefer. As soon as the water is warm enough, you're going to get your hair wet. Make sure it's wet enough to put your shampoo and make it make some bubbles. After that, you're gonna want to leave the shampoo for some time so that it cleans your head. Meanwhile, you can take the soap. If you have any towel destined to wash yourself with it, get the towel wet and make some bubbles with it and the soap. If you don't have a towel, just get the soap and make some bubbles and extend it all over your body. Also, to be the cleanest person in your group, never forget to clean your private parts. They also need soap and they also need fresh water to have a full clean body. Once you finish putting on the soap, you can go ahead and wash away all the bubbles, the shampoo bubbles, and the soap bubbles. Make sure you don't leave any remains of soap or shampoo so that your skin doesn't suffer. Once you are completely washed, you can close the tap. Don't spend too much time in the shower so that we take care of the water and of our planet. The last thing we are going to do is to take the towel and start drying ourselves. The first thing you're going to dry is your hair so that the drops don't come down and keep getting your body wet. Dry yourself up, and before you go out of the shower, make sure your feet are dry so that you don't get your sandals wet. Great, we are ready for a new day. Esto es los ejemplos de los tutoriales. Los puedes leer en español también para que sepas exactamente qué es lo que estás diciendo. Apréndetelos y dilos. Continuemos.